What the birds in your yard know about you walked out this morning. Same coffee mug, same slippers, same worn path across the grass to the feeder, and you probably didn't think twice about it. But somewhere in that maple, or behind your fence, or perched on the power line 2 yards over, there was a bird watching you. Not casually, not by accident. The way you'd watch a stranger walking up your driveway, reading you, evaluating you, making decisions about you before you'd even finished pouring the seed. Here's what nobody tells you. After a few weeks of feeding them, those birds know things about you. Real things. Specific things. And by the end of this, you're going to see yourself the way they already do. It's stranger than you'd expect. They know your schedule. Better than you do you think you fill the feeder whenever. The birds disagree. From a branch with a clean sightline to your back door, a chickadee can see your kitchen light flick on. It can hear the screen door spring. After about a week of you showing up, it starts arriving before you do. Not most days, every day. Here's why. A chickadee in winter can lose 10% of its body weight overnight. 10%. Imagine waking up tomorrow, having burned through 15 pounds you didn't have. You can't afford to guess when food might appear. You have to know. So the bird doesn't watch the feeder. It watches you. The light, the door, the sound of the seed bin lid. It links those signals into a sequence, and by day 5 or 6, that sequence rewires its behavior. It stops foraging in the back lot. It stakes out your maple. It has, without a single lesson from you, scheduled its morning around yours. And if you sleep in on a Saturday, many of them wait. Sitting on the same branch, watching the door, because their model of you says you're coming. You have a small group of wild animals who built a working theory of your daily routine. Without you ever trying to teach them what to do with this, pick a loose feeding window, say 7 to 8 a.m. The more consistent you are, the less energy they burn guessing, and the healthier your regulars stay through cold snaps. They know you face the birds in your yard. Don't see a person filling the feeder. They see you, distinct from your spouse, distinct from the mail carrier, distinct from the neighbor who walks her dog past your fence. The science on this came from crows, almost by accident. Researchers wore masks while banding wild birds, then walked through the same parks weeks later with those same masks on. The crows remembered, they scolded, they dive-bombed, they recruited other birds to mob the masked faces. In some studies, they kept it up for years. Songbirds aren't as sharp as crows, but they're closer than you'd think. A chickadee or housefinch builds a profile on you, the shape of your face, the color of your most worn jacket, your height, your gait. This one is safe file, filed under you specifically. You can test this. Have someone else fill the feeder for a few days while you stay inside. The birds will scatter further. They'll hesitate longer before coming down. Some won't come at all, until they spot you through the window. That's not coincidence. That's recognition. The reason is brutal and simple. Misreading a safe human as dangerous wastes precious energy. Misreading a dangerous one as safe gets you killed. Evolution spent a long time making birds very good at telling us apart. What to do with this? Move slowly during the first few weeks. Wear similar clothes at feeding time if you can. You're not just delivering food. You're building an identity in their heads. Make it easy for them to lock onto. They know your mood. This is where it gets genuinely unsettling. On mornings you walk out relaxed, coffee in hand, unhurried. The birds at your feeder barely flinch. A nuthatch might hop to the other side of the trunk. A junco might shift 2 feet sideways. That's it. On mornings you walk out stressed, late, moving fast, shoulders tight, arguing on the phone. Those same birds explode off the feeder. Same yard, same person, same feeder. Different mood. They didn't read your mind. They read your body. Birds evolved alongside predators that telegraph intent through movement. A hawk gliding is hunting. A hawk perched still might just be resting. A cat low to the ground is stalking. Reading motion is the oldest survival software they have. And humans, for better or worse, get scanned by the same program. What to do with this? On hard mornings, take 3 breaths before you step outside. The birds aren't being dramatic. They're reading you accurately. Slow down, and the yard stays calmer. For everyone, including you. They know your yard better than you. Every regular bird in your yard carries a detailed mental map of it, and that map is more complete than yours. From where your cardinal sits in the hedge, It knows exactly how many seconds it takes to reach the maple if a hawk drops in. It knows which window the cat usually watches from, which corner gets sun first, which branches sway too much to land on safely, which bush is dense enough to hide in and which one isn't. You've lived in that yard for years. The bird has been there for weeks. The bird wins. And the moment you started feeding, you became a fixed landmark on that map. Your back door is a feature. Your usual path across the grass is a route. The spot where you stand to refill the feeder has its own risk rating, its own timing, its own meaning. When something bad happens in the yard, a hawk strike, a cat attack, the map updates within hours. Areas get flagged. Birds avoid spots they used to favor. The geography of your yard, inside their heads, is alive. What to do with this? Keep the map stable. Don't constantly move the feeder. Don't change where you stand. Predictability builds confidence, and confidence brings more birds, what they've figured out about you. Here's the full picture. They know your schedule. They know your face. They know the difference between you on a good morning and you on a bad one. They know which door you use, what you wear, the speed you walk, the path you take. They've built a map of your yard with you at the center of it, and they update it every single day. You walked out this morning thinking you were just filling a feeder. You weren't. You were stepping into a relationship that's been running quietly since the first time you showed up with seed. A relationship where they've been most of the watching, most of the learning, most of the remembering. The yard you walk through every day? To the birds living there, it's a world they understand far better than you do. Tomorrow morning, before you do anything, just stand at the door for 30 seconds. Think about what they're already noticing. Your jacket, your timing, the mood you carried outside with you. Then ask yourself, what have the birds in your yard figured out about your routine? I'd bet they know more than you think. Nature is talking. Learn to listen.